Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Side Projects. We talk about a lot of things that hold world records on this channel, so I thought it'd be fun to address why Guinness is sort of the company that decides about what is a record and what is not, somehow. Let's get into it. What has sold over 145 million copies worldwide, spawned websites, TV shows, museums, games, and represented feats of human achievement from the pinnacle of athleticism to the downright weird. You probably already know because you clicked on a video that somewhere in the title has the Guinness Book of World Records. And you're absolutely right. Now just known as Guinness World Records, has come a long way since its inception over 65 years ago. Back in the 1950s, if you needed to know something, for example, to prove to your friends that you were right and they were wrong, you could just do a 2-second internet search and wave your phone triumphantly in their faces. The modern era has ruined us. Now there's no debate. It's like immediately, as soon as you get into tech ad, we're looking it up. We're Googling that shit right now, friends. If the information wasn't readily available in any existing reference books that you happen to have easy access to, the argument would rumble on and probably fester for the remainder of your relationship. This was the predicament that Sir Hugh Beaver found himself in when, presumably having missed a shot at the shooting party he was attending, the question was raised over what was Europe's fastest game bird, the red grouse or the golden plover. With no concrete answer to be found, Sir Hugh spotted a gap in the market for a book containing such facts and figures and was eventually put in touch with fact-finding statistician twins Norris and Ross McWhirter. Incidentally, if there was a record for the pairing of unintentionally comedic names, Hugh Beaver and Norris McWhirter most surely would be pretty close to the top. The twins worked hard on compiling their records and facts, and in 1954 the prototype was printed and distributed free as the Guinness Book of Records. If you're wondering where the Guinness part comes into it and whether it's the same Guinness as the famous Irish drink, well, you'd be absolutely right. Sir Hugh Beaver was the managing director of the Guinness Brewery at the time and saw the tie-in potential for settling pub arguments with a handy book of facts. While the book has since been sold to different companies a few times, the Guinness name has been retained. Following the free 1954 edition, in the following year, 1955, the Guinness Book of Records was officially published for the first time and was a huge hit, selling 187,000 copies in the first year. By 1964, the book and the subsequent editions had sold over 1 million copies. The McWhirter twins compiled and updated the book every year until 1974, when, after becoming a target because of his anti-Irish views, Ross McWhirter was assassinated by the IRA. Norris McWhirter continued as the editor of the Guinness Book of World Records until 1986 and stayed on as a consultant until his retirement in 1996 at the age of 71. The book has continued as an annual juggernaut of facts and figures and has a few spin-off editions such as Wild Things and Amazing Animals, dealing with, you guessed it, animals. There's also a Gamers Edition covering everything you can think of from the world of video games. According to the website, the annual books now contain 80% new and updated information in every edition, which I suppose means that 20% of the records are more enduring or just popular or important enough to feature every year. Now, over 65 years after the initial argument about birds, Guinness World Records has become the recognized global authority covering and celebrating human and animal achievement at its best and brightest. Now, if you want a place in the Guinness World Records book, there is a process to go through. Whether you're the first, the youngest, the oldest, the fastest, or even the slowest, there is a category for everybody, but you must adhere to the rules. According to the Guinness World Records website, each record attempt must fulfill all of the following criteria. It must be measurable, breakable, standardizable, verifiable, based on one variable, and thought of as being the best in the world. You could search on their website to apply to break an existing record or suggest a new one. A standard application can take several months to be approved or rejected, or you can pay to have it fast-tracked. There are even bespoke and expensive packages where you can get suggestions for records to attempt with your organization or company. While you don't have to have an official Guinness World Records judge at your attempt, you can hire them to help cut down on admin and add some buzz around your event. If you're making a record attempt without an official judge present, you need to make sure you provide comprehensive evidence to Guinness World Records, including but not limited to a detailed cover letter, independent witness statements, and photographic and video proof. About 50,000 people a year apply to be a record breaker, but only a small percentage achieve their goal. This could be because of a problem somewhere in the application process, a lack of evidence at the end, or just failure in the attempt itself. 6,000 records were approved in 2020, though, showing that at least some people were being productive during a global pandemic. Although, given some of the records that people go for, I'm not sure productive would be the correct word here. Guinness World Records does not pay any money to winners or cover expenses accrued, so think about that before buying brand name over store brand beans in your next baked bean bath record attempt. In fact, I believe you gotta pay a substantial sum of money to Guinness. Like, they're a business. They're in it for profit. What you do get is a Class C certificate and unassailable bragging rights until someone comes along and breaks your record. Even if you do now officially have a Guinness World Record, it's not guaranteed that you'll see your name in print. The book only publishes about 4,000 records each year, out of over 58,000 that it has in its databases. You've got a better chance at appearing on their website, though, as it features about 15,000 records at a time and it regularly updates its content. Norris McWhirter's fascination with statistics and records was already well established before Guinness came calling. In fact, it was McWhirter who witnessed and officially announced that Roger Bannister was the first person to break the 4-minute mile in Oxford in 1954. While this record has since been broken many times, being the first to do something is always a good way to get your name in the record book. If your name happens to be Ashrita Furman, you're going to be in the record book a lot. That's because Furman is known as the man with the most Guinness World Records. Since breaking the record for the most jumping jacks in the 1980 edition, 27,000 in 6 hours and 45 minutes, Furman has gone on to set more than 600 records. As well as physically taxing achievements such as the record for fastest 10k sack race, 1 hour, 22 minutes and 2 seconds, he's also thought up a whole bunch of incredibly niche stuff such as the most number of balloons inflated by the nose in 1 minute. It's 9 if you care to try and beat that one, and most paper aircraft caught by your mouth in 1 minute, and that's 17. This guy seems a bit insane, doesn't he? If that seems a bit tame for your tastes, maybe you should try beating Wang Lei's 2020 record for most apples held in own mouth and cut by chainsaw in 1 minute. What are you up to, Wang? That is insane. He managed to do it 28 times and kept his face intact in the process. Or how about most watermelons chopped on the stomach in 1 minute, currently held by Suresh P. and Master Prabhakar Reddy P. at 64 sword-chopped watermelons. I feel at some point Guinness should be like, yo, guys, no dangerous records, okay? No swords, alright? For the more sedentary among us, there are plenty of opportunities to be a record breaker without breaking a sweat. Rocco Mercurio currently holds the world record for most mugs held in one hand at a whopping 25, and in 2014, Girl Guiding Northwest England organised the largest sleepover or pyjama party with over 2,000 participants. You could also get cracking on that other mainstay of the Guinness World Records books, the largest collection section. If you have the money, the space, and a good idea, you could join the illustrious ranks of largest collection of ingested objects, 2,374, largest collection of ear trumpets, 359, or largest collection of fruit stickers, 34,500. There's even a record for largest collection of Guinness World Records memorabilia, which is currently held by Martin Tovey with 2,164 unique items. Contained within that is also another world record for the largest collection of Guinness World Record annuals at 353. These people, what is going on in your life for you to have so much time? Like, the idea that I could do any of these things is just absurd. If even that is too strenuous, you can always buy a branded cap or t-shirt from the store and hope people will assume that you've already done something extraordinary. Do be aware, however, that Guinness World Records has tightened up and even removed categories due to concerns for animal or human welfare. Dude, they let a guy chop apples in his mouth with a chainsaw. What? Because it's easily open for abuse by overcompetitive pet owners, applications are no longer accepted for things like lightest or heaviest pet, for example. Also closed are categories which include speeding on public roads, speed drinking alcohol, or doing things which are not within existing Guinness World Records time or distance markers. Also, due to their subjective nature, no applications are accepted for record attempts relating to artwork, poetry, or beauty. So, if you have the time, if you have so much time and the inclination, it seems more than possible that a Guinness World Record is within your grasp. And by the way, according to Guinness World Records website, Europe's fastest game bird is regarded as the golden plover, which maybe explains why Beaver failed to hit it. This has been an episode of Side Projects. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.